Hi, folks. My name's Danny Almon of AlmonTravel, and welcome you to our Tuesday evening travel presentation. A little bit about ourselves. We've been in business since 2003, so a little over 17 years, and of course, I've never experienced anything like what we're going through right now, which is basically an absolute standstill to travel. So it's been an interesting ride. We have a number of specialties. But we're not limited to these, of course. We specialize in destination weddings down in the Caribbean area. We've done 130 of those over the years. And where that might, fall into value for listeners is if you have any groups, if you have any special anniversaries, if you have any gatherings that you would like to celebrate by taking a group wherever you want to go, perhaps on a river cruise, we certainly have the experience to be able to help you with that. We also focus on Florida travel with an eye to theme parks. And while the demographic of CARP may not be to theme parks in Florida, certainly extended families, grandparents, parents, and grandchildren. Again, groups to go down there and enjoy yourself once travel is safe. We've done a lot of booking to the Caribbean for vacations, destination weddings, of course, being a large part of that. We have been to most of the main areas that people like to travel to for their vacations, and certainly have a lot of personal experience to be able to help you choose different resorts. And finally, we have a specialty in cruises, ocean cruises. We've made it a point to visit, some of the more popular itineraries around the world, and can certainly advise you on that: Alaska, Hawaii, the Mediterranean, all the different parts of the Caribbean, and so on. But one of our main focuses is on river cruises, and we have done 10 different itineraries around the world: Europe, Portugal, Egypt, Venice, the Douro, and we've also done the Yangtze, the Mekong, and the Red River in Asia. So we have a lot of experience there, and very happy to share that with you if you are interested in looking at a river cruise. Want to mention that this is the 9th presentation of about 18 presentations that are planned, which occur at 6:30 every Tuesday, right now into January. Also want to make a note that we are looking at partnering with organizations that provide solo travel, and there are a number of companies that do encourage people to be able to travel by themselves without an enormous single supplement. So there'll be more on that as we move along. CARP's plan for travel. We're connected with CARP as a result of my involvement with Bill Van Gorder, CARP executive member in Nova Scotia and also Canada. Bill is my client, in fact, has taken a Scenic river cruise through me, and has also experienced the Rocky Mountaineer and a train across Canada to get back home. That experience that Bill has with me, together with the fact that I worked on one of his charitable foundations, 100 Men Who Give a Damn, who raised $350,000 for local charities, all of which went to the charities. There was no overhead. Gave me a chance to get to know Bill, and Bill a chance to get to know me. And he asked me if AlmonTravel would be interested in being CARP Nova Scotia's official travel agency, and of course we were very excited to accept. We started working on plans for this in November of 2019, had some presentations scheduled, and then of course COVID hit and everything just got put on hold. But it also allowed me to brainstorm and think about these travel presentations, which are on every Tuesday, allowing people just an opportunity to learn about different destinations, different itineraries, and that sort of thing. And there, of course, being no risk, just to learn about it. So I also would like to invite anybody that's listening to write me if they have an itinerary or a destination that they're particularly interested in that would probably be a popular destination for other people. Let me know. I'd be happy to research it and see if we can arrange a presentation on that as well. I'd like to take this moment to introduce Tracy Daniels from Scenic Cruises, who is the Business Development Manager for Eastern Canada, Eastern Ontario, Quebec, and BC. That's like half the country, Tracy. I've been working with Tracy now for some time, and she'll be talking specifically about river cruising in Vietnam with a focus on the Mekong River. We have been to Vietnam, my wife and I, 3 times now. We've done the Mekong, we've done the Red River, we've done a number of land excursions as well, and also Angkor Wat in Cambodia. And I'm going to be the color commentator for tonight's presentation. So Tracy, I'll turn it over to you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Danny. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us this evening. It's my pleasure to share with you one of the many destinations that Scenic travels to. When you are traveling, it's important to know the details and to know what makes Scenic luxury cruises and tours experience unique. So over the next 20 to 30 minutes, Danny and I are going to take you through, I'll tell you a bit about the Scenic story, just to give you a little bit of background of the company. As well, I'll touch on the Mekong River and cruising on our beautiful Scenic Spirit vessel. And then we'll touch on some of the itineraries that Scenic offers, sailing on the Mekong. And Danny's going to join in with me to share some of his highlights and experiences and some treasures that he has collected during his travels. So just to give you a bit of background again, the Scenic story, we are a privately owned Australian company. Our founder, Glenn Moroney, started this humble business back in 1986, starting as a coach tour company, doing motor coach guided tours throughout Australia. Jumping ahead now, 34 years later, we are now a global company operating over 500 cruises and tours throughout every continent. So Scenic launched into the river cruise industry in 2008. And then last year, Scenic joined the ocean market with the world's first Discovery ocean yacht, our beautiful Scenic Eclipse that sails all over the world, including both polar regions. And then in 2014, we launched our sister company, Emerald Cruises. So Emerald Waterways also does deluxe river cruises all over the world. And then in 2021, we're excited to be entering another new chapter with Emerald Cruises with our first super yacht, our beautiful Emerald Azura, that will be sailing in the Mediterranean with only 100 guests on board. So a nice small yachting experience. So we're always looking for new travel experiences. Quality and value is the utmost importance, and that's certainly what we stand for with Scenic. So throughout the presentation, you'll hear me talk about our Scenic luxury inclusions. So the big thing about Scenic is we believe that luxury is all-inclusive and found in the thoughtful details. So I'll touch on our Scenic and Rich experiences, which are exclusive experiences just for our Scenic guests that are handpicked and created and will be among the highlights of your journey. So Scenic is proud to have won the award from Cruise Critic just last year for the best river cruise line for enrichment. So I'll share with you some of those examples that we have on our Mekong itineraries as well. Our Scenic free choice excursions, you'll be able to choose from a vast range of activities. So not just one choice, we have several choices all included for you as well, at a pace that suits you as well. And then we have our luxury appointed hotels and our ships and luxury services provided. They're all carefully selected by our expert journey designers. And lastly, you'll have a better understanding of the Scenic nth degree. It's the little things that are included to ensure that your journey will be an exceptional experience. So we are a handcrafted business. Handcrafted by Scenic, that stands for what we do and how we do it. By curating experiences that take you beyond the ordinary, from exclusive access to Angkor, after dark to special backstage passes to Hanoi's famous water puppet show, Scenic guests enjoy exclusive handcrafted local entertainment and sumptuous regional feasts all through their journey. And on board, our skilled cruise and tour directors will share their experience and passion for the region, while all the while anticipating your needs and delivering a remarkable experience. So the mystical waterways of Southeast Asia will capture your imagination, inspire memories for the years to come. Navigate these fascinating waterways from the elegant and comfortable surrounds of your intimate luxury floating hotel. This ever-changing view will offer an insight into the beating heart of this region. We sail in the Mekong as well as further north in Myanmar on the Irrawaddy rivers. Tonight's presentation will be focusing on the Mekong River. And as your five-star floating boutique hotel cruises through the iconic waterways of Vietnam and Cambodia, you'll gain a true insight into the history, culture, and wildlife of the ancient lands that have built a life around this vital river. So this is our beautiful Scenic Spirit. It's been designed, custom built to encapsulate the essence of Southeast Asia. It's our small boutique vessel catering to just 68 guests, and this will be your home away from home as you cruise on the Mekong. Scenic is the only cruise company in Asia that designs, builds, owns, and operates to European safety standards. Our locally based and operated Scenic offices provide on-ground support to our hand-selected Scenic crew, ensuring they can go above and beyond to make your experience unforgettable. Though smaller than our European sister vessels, the Scenic Spirit boasts some of the most spacious suites across our fleet. Every suite has its own separate bedroom and living room, and our Scenic Sun Lounge balcony experience. The Spirit also offers world-class facilities, including an outdoor lounge, resort-style pool and bar, sumptuous spa and wellness center, state-of-the-art gym, elevator access, and a complimentary guest laundry. So let's go on board and take a closer look. So as I mentioned, we are an all-balcony ship. So this is our deluxe suites, starting at 344 square feet. So quite large compared to European standards. And they are so spacious, as you can see, also having that bedroom and living room area there. So every detail's been considered, also including a walk-in wardrobe. So each feature, suite features our exclusive queen-size Scenic slumber bed, which can be configured into 2 twins. And you'll want to pamper yourself with the Egyptian cotton sheets, an extensive pillow menu, and with nightly turn-down service and complimentary shoe-sign service as well. Our private ensuite bathrooms, as you can see, beautifully well appointed, very modern. Also for all of our suites, all of the guests receive butler service as well. Complimentary minibar, which is restocked daily, complimentary Wi-Fi. There'll be a hairdryer, bathrobe, slippers in your suite, as well as an in-room safe, and lots of room for your suitcase that you'll tuck underneath your bed, as you only have to unpack once on a river cruise and enjoy your floating boutique hotel. We also have some suites available for those that want to upgrade a little bit on the Scenic Spirit. This is the Royal Panorama Suite at a very generous 861 square feet, forward-facing location with an extensive private outdoor terrace with your own personal sun lounge and private outdoor jacuzzi. Wonderful way to enjoy the beautiful scenery as you float along. And the Scenic Spirit, the Scenic Lounge here, as you can see, is the heart of the ship, and it offers contemporary floor-to-ceiling windows. There's complimentary coffee and tea making facilities available for you, as well onboard entertainment, such as culinary demonstrations, history and cultural talks, and musical performances will take place here. All of our onboard activities and entertainment, including Tai Chi classes, lion dancers, and special performances from local school children, have all been designed to complement the very best of our destinations. Food, of course, is an important factor in everybody's experience, and we offer a diverse and delicious food experience. And it's definitely going to be a highlight of your Scenic cruise. You'll be spoiled for choice, from fine dining to a relaxed casual meal in the River Cafe. We'll have highlight evenings, and snacks will be available throughout the day. So you can try a new local dish or stay with the universal favorites. And of course, with Scenic, in-suite dining is also available, and of course, included throughout your cruise with Scenic. On many of our land-based itineraries, you will also enjoy a wide variety of all-inclusive dining options through Scenic free choice dining. These culinary highlights will give you the opportunity to choose where you dine on certain nights of your journey. So a wonderful experience as well. And we're supporting clean water initiatives in Asia to make it a greener future. So we've eliminated the use of single-use plastic bottles and straws on board our ships. There'll be filling stations available throughout the ship as well for you. And you'll never want to leave our pool deck, as you'll be surrounded by a choice of casual dining options, including a select lunch menu and beverages from the full service bar. And of course, with Scenic, all your beverages all day, every day are included as well. So let's take a look at some of the onshore experience here. So whether you want a relaxed pace or to fit in as much as possible, our Scenic free choice activities offer a diverse range of sightseeing and to choose from every day. And as the name suggests, the choice is yours. So you'll be escorted by our local guides and tour directors, and they are all, of course, these tours included in the price. One of our most popular options is the opportunity to uncover the lively city of Ho Chi Minh on a vintage Vespa ride through the back streets of this vibrant city, sampling the street life and dining culture of the local Vietnamese. This particular free choice activity is done at night and is tandem, and it's just a brilliant way to fully immerse yourself in the Vietnamese culture. Definitely a popular choice by our guests. Danny, I didn't ask you, did you have a chance to ride one of these Vespas when you were there?
No, I didn't, but Vietnam is noted for the number of motorbikes that are there, and I can tell you that to do it with an experienced Vietnamese rider being the driver is the only way to do it. Certainly, you're on the back, so you're able to relax and enjoy yourself, but be prepared for a horde of motorbikes. But in the chaos that looks there, it's quite amazing. It's well run. For instance, if you want to cross the street in Ho Chi Minh City or Hanoi or wherever you might be, you have hundreds of motorbikes coming down on you. And what you do is, especially if there's 2 or 3 of you, at the same time, you step out into the motorbikes. We're doing maybe 15 or 20 kilometers per hour, and you keep moving slowly forward. And basically, the motorbikes part to allow you to continue to walk all the way through. You'd never do that in North America. You'd say you're going to be run over and killed. But your experience with that, if you waited for a red light to turn green, you will never cross the street. So a little bit of a tip there. It might be intimidating, but that's what you will experience. But being on one of these scooters with an experienced motorcycle driver is definitely the way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the company that we partnered with, absolutely high safety standards, and we've been partnering with them for many years. So they've been well researched there for sure. Another part of your Scenic experience, which is truly all-inclusive and exclusive, is our Scenic Enrich experiences. So these take you behind the scenes to experience special moments. So you'll experience the heart of Southeast Asia's culture through once-in-a-lifetime experiences and creating memories that will stay with you after your visit has ended. One of the most memorable Enrich experiences is the gala temple dinner that's shown here in this picture. This is held in Siem Reap. And you'll be enthralled by the magical themed dinner, drinks, and show, surrounded by the dancers in front of the candlelit and floodlit temple ruins. So this entire scene that you see here in the picture, this is set up just for our Scenic guests. So this is not here on a normal basis. All those tables, Those are set up just for our scenic guests. So this is a really incredible experience. Just again, only for our scenic guests that to experience, and of course, always included with scenic. And then we have our free choice, scenic free choice excursions. So lots of choices again with scenic. So you don't have just one included tour, you have lots of choices. Whether you want a relaxed pace or if you want to fit in as much as possible. You've got lots of different diverse range of sightseeing and activities to choose from, escorted by our English-speaking local guides, and of course, all included. So we'll touch on a couple of our itineraries here. And again, we do have lots of different itineraries of varying lengths. We're just going to highlight a couple of the more popular ones. Of course, Danny at AlmonTravel, he can certainly explain all of the itineraries and talk to you to find out what the best fit is for you. So the first one that I'm going to touch on is the Treasures of the Mekong. This is a 13-day itinerary that goes from Ho Chi Minh City to Siem Reap. And Danny, I know you've seen the scenery here that's shown in the picture.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. This is called a stilt town, and this probably is, well, it may be on the edges of the lake Tonle Sap, but it may in fact be half a mile inland. During the rainy season, the Tonle Sap lake rises by 20 to 30 feet, and when it's at its peak height, these little houses are, the water would be lapping at the floorboards. I recall we visited one of these stilt towns, and we see railings on the pictures that are in front of us there, but I recall seeing a baby, a toddler, perhaps 1 year old, walking around in this, a lot of them are just one room. No railings whatsoever, and if he had fallen off that, it would have been a 20-foot plunge down to the ground. And I was just saying to myself, again, the differences in culture, we would never allow that sort of situation in our culture, but over there, they're brought up that so that they feel it's normal. So again, one of the things that's probably most notable about a cruise in Vietnam is to make note of the cultural differences. We were really quite surprised.
Perfect, absolutely. So here's some map here, just to kind of give you an idea of the itinerary here. This is our 13-day Treasure of the Mekong. And it's inspired by temples and traditions, from the ancient hilltop of Pagoda to the famous silver pagoda of Phnom Penh. So Scenic will unveil a multitude of experiences that will allow you to appreciate this magnificent waterway. So this itinerary here shows arriving into Ho Chi Minh City, where the Scenic Spirit has been custom built so that it can dock right in Ho Chi Minh City, where many other companies have to dock outside of the city limits. So you'll be right in the heart here, where you'll have 2 nights before boarding the Scenic Spirit for 7 beautiful nights, and then ending up in Siem Reap with those 3 nights. Danny, do you want to just touch on a few highlights from this area that you experienced?
Well, Ho Chi Minh City in South Vietnam tends to be quite warm, and of course, if you go during the hot season, it's not just warm; it's hot and very humid. So, but I mean, lots and lots of things to see there. We've been there several times. Have enjoyed it. There's sort of major sightseeing points that Scenic will, cover. They along with most other companies, they choose the sites that are most popular and most meaningful, and so you'll have some enjoyment there. I know on the next slide, if we have a look at that, this is a picture that I actually took, and it's it's a picture of like a pop-up kitchen, but very different. We see them in mobile trucks here, but this is an example of a pop-up kitchen or a sales place for a Vietnamese person. She just drives her bike and parks it, and then she has all these things for sale, and people walk by and get them. So again, very, very different from our culture, and that's I really want to emphasize that when I talk to clients who are interested in going over to Asia. It's more a cultural experience than an historical experience. Europe, for instance, is very based on historical background. So yeah, so that's that.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. And this is just another example of one of the scenic free choice activity options, is to visit this bird sanctuary. So it's a very popular option where you'll get to enjoy a tranquil boat ride around the sanctuary and floating around this watery wonderland with its huge lily pads and abundance of wildlife and lush scenery. So it's a lovely way to spend the morning as well. So the reserve consists of protected forest and wetlands, which is a great, attracts a great variety of bird life. So any bird lovers over there, this is definitely one excursion that you'll want to experience. And then along this itinerary, when you cross the border into Cambodia, our first stop is in the capital of Phnom Penh. And your all-included sightseeing will have you visiting this must-see site of the National Museum, as well as the Royal Palace and the shown here in the famous Silver Pagoda. Danny, I'm sure you got to visit this beautiful palace.
Yes, it was. That's I think an itinerary that's available on all river cruises. It's a main highlight of Phnom Penh. So that's the beautiful side of Phnom Penh.
Yeah. And we also include a nighttime tuk-tuk ride through the lesser visited areas of Phnom Penh, with a stop at a local distillery for a private after hours tasting. So just to kind of give you just an example of the diverse range of excursions that we have. And of course, you can't visit Cambodia and not appreciate how the country and its people were affected by the Khmer Rouge. So Danny, why don't you share your experience? I know you got a chance to visit this area.
Yes, it's interesting. It's again, river cruise companies offer historical looks at things, and in this case, it's a piece of history that is very sobering. The Khmer Rouge basically kidnapped a lot of Vietnamese people, looking at them as being spies and so on. And we visited the prison. It had some pictures, and it had, a lot of prison cells that were about 4 feet wide by about 8 feet long, and people would be expected to stay in those for extended periods of time. It was really brutal. Those people who are interested in history, certainly well worth a visit, and that's combined with a visit to the killing fields, which again, is a very sobering reminder of what people can do to other people in war. Right now it's a very kind of a pretty well-grown area, but it's mass graves of people who were murdered and that sort of thing. So, I think you're given an opportunity to do that, or perhaps to do something that's, visiting a market or something like that as an alternative. When my wife and I were there, I did this one because I was interested in the history, and she did another one that was less, concerning, I guess would be a word to use. So be aware. This is something that will make you do some hard thinking.
Okay, thank you. And north of Phnom Penh is Udon, so a former royal residence and capital for over 200 years. And you're all included in rich experience here. We'll have you receiving a blessing in the pagoda from the resident monks and learning how to pray in a Buddhist fashion before partaking in a donation of food to the monastery and contributing to the daily meal of the resident nuns and monks. And then, of course, another highlight will be to marvel at sunrise over the magnificent Angkor Wat before moving to a special location for a full champagne breakfast, just again for our scenic guests. So talk about a unique location to have breakfast that we offer, and again, exclusive to scenic guests. So these are some pictures that Danny took from his time at Angkor Wat. So why don't you share your experiences at this incredible place.
Well, it is. I mean, and the picture that you opened, Tracy, with several slides earlier, sort of a full-on look at the front of Angkor Wat with the lake in front of it and the reflection. It is stunning, absolutely stunning. The architecture is in pretty good shape for the most part. You can walk around. You've got to be careful. You've got to be in reasonably good shape. As you can see from the left picture there, that's a set of steps that you'll have to go up, and there are lots of steps within as well. But it's well marked out, and they don't certainly encourage you to go anywhere where it might be dangerous for you. But I know that I was just absolutely amazed by the carvings on the walls and that sort of thing. That picture that I took from the corner of Angkor Wat is gives you a picture of the magnificence of the building.
Absolutely. And we'll also visit the preserved but lesser visited famous jungle-covered Tapram, known by many as the Tomb Raider temple, where that movie was filmed. And then you can see in the picture there on the right, there's Danny. So another great temple, Danny.
Yes, again, Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie is the one that was based on this particular temple. I saw the picture of the Buddhists walking around there, and I thought that the color of their robes really contrasted very nicely with the gray of the building. But the trees that are just overtaking, the ruins there are just absolutely amazing, and they're all over the place. These are trees that just send their roots down and just absolutely quite amazing. It's definitely worth the visit.
Yeah, absolutely. So then I'm going to take you now to one of our other itineraries that I definitely highly recommend for taking the trip over there. And this is going to be our Essence of Vietnam, Cambodia, and Luxury Mekong. So this is a 22-day itinerary that includes not just the south, but also the north in Vietnam. So definitely recommended if you're traveling over there. So you'll see the bottom portion is the same as the itinerary that we discussed. And then it continues on. So this itinerary starts actually when you fly in to Hanoi, and you'll have 2 nights there before joining a cruise on Halong Bay, which I'll show you some pictures here in a moment. And then you've got another night in Hanoi before heading down to Hoi An Hui. Now, the other one thing to mention with Scenic is all these internal flights are also included in your journey. So it makes it for a very seamless itinerary and experience for you. I know, Danny, you had the opportunity to visit the northern area there as well.
Yes, this is a complete journey. You get a really good look at Vietnam when you take this, and I believe it's a 22-day, is it?
That's
trip?
Correct.
Yeah. The Hanoi to Halong Bay is usually a bus ride, couple of hours to get down there, and Halong Bay was just an incredible experience. We've been there twice now. The islands are just they jut out of the sea, and some of them are quite small. But they're almost vertical islands. I have lots and lots of pictures of that, just absolutely amazing. And then the trip, if we just go back to that previous slide, Tracy,
Sure.
just to look at the destinations. The flight to probably to Da Nang, which is in between Hue and Hoi An there. Da Nang is a very modern city with an absolutely beautiful beach. And within probably an hour or on either side, Hue is a UNESCO town, and Hoi An is a UNESCO town, and we've spent several days in each. Hoi An particularly is one of the towns that you actually focus on here. It's a completely different experience to go in the daytime and then in the night with all of the lights. Without ruining the image, I'll say in the nighttime, it kind of reminds me of the brightness of Las Vegas. Now, I might say that in a negative way, for, as far as Las Vegas is concerned, but no, it's an absolutely beautiful place to visit if you're able to do that in both the daytime and the nighttime.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Hanoi, as we kind of touched on there, It's a more conservative than Ho Chi Minh City. It's kind of the Paris of the East as it's known. So it has its own special charm there as well. And this is just a picture of in the old quarter that, you know, time has kind of remained unchanged for centuries. So it's a perfect city to watch the world go by during your extended 3-night stay there. And then this is the Halong Bay that we mentioned up in northern Vietnam, where you've got a 2-night cruise on a different vessel here that we partner with. So this gives you kind of an opportunity to sail a little deeper into the less visited and more pristine areas of the bay, away from the day and night trippers here. And there you can see Danny and his wife Debbie there with in that region there. So share with us some of your highlights of that area.
Well, again, you know, that's an example of the islands that you'll experience. It's UNESCO, the bay, and you know, again, the kind of thing you'll not experience it virtually in any other place in the world. So definitely worth adding. If you don't have it as a part of your trip, definitely worthwhile adding Halong Bay to your trip.
Yeah, absolutely stunning for sure. Just in another scenic difference is you'll also receive a special Sundowners event. So while we're anchored in Halong Bay, there'll be a wine tasting against the backdrop of the beautiful islands at sunset, which is exclusive to our scenic guests on board. Hoi An as well, you'll find your life has changed just a little. This beautiful, graceful and historic town. It's definitely a unique experience, right, Danny?
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's an example of dusk. When it's dark, of course, everything is lighted and very, very colorful too. You know, silk shops and that sort of thing. Just walking around, perfectly safe too. I felt very, very comfortable with my wife and I walking around, you know, by ourselves in the middle of the town in the evening. Definitely worth several hours to spend there in the evening.
Perfect. And I think you brought some silk souvenir back from your trip.
Yes, this is, I mean, keep your eye open for this sort of thing, but this is called a silk painting. And what it is all of the colors and the entire painting is made up from silk threads. Now this I think cost us about $80 when we bought it over in Vietnam. We have 2 of them. And but if you had to, you know, wanted to buy something like that here, it would probably end up costing you $500-600, if not more. So that was one experience. And then we also visited a knife making shop, and we watched this fellow. It was a family tradition passed down to him by his father and father before him, and he was trying to pass it down to his son. But his son was helping him, but his grandson, he said, no way he's going to allow him to continue doing this. Vietnam is apparently modernizing. But this knife, I watched him make it, and then I bought it from him. You know, so all kinds of opportunities there to be able to experience the local life and the culture.
Yeah, just great mementos for sure. So that just kind of gives you some of the culture experiences in Southeast Asia, an absolutely remarkable journey. So again, with Scenic, what I want you to take away from this is, again, we are truly all inclusive. So from your special once in a lifetime scenic and rich experiences, the abundance of choice when it comes to those included free choice excursions, the luxurious hotel stays, your ship that you'll be staying on, of course, all your beverages, all your dining, everything is all included. And as well with Scenic, your gratuities are included as well. So you don't have to worry about a thing. You're just there to relax and enjoy your journey with us. So finally, just to wrap things up, we've got a special show offer exclusive to those of you here watching our presentation on the Mekong. And this show offer is available only through Danny at AlmonTravel. So please contact him, and he can certainly, with his wealth of experience, help you find the right cruise to suit your needs. So this show offer savings of $125 per person is valid on new bookings and valid for 2 weeks, so until November the 10th of 2020. And you can use it on any of our Scenic products. So we have our Europe river cruises for both 2021 and 2022 available, as well as our Southeast Asia program for 2021 and 2022, as well as our Egypt tours in 2021. So lots of great opportunities that you can use this exclusive show offer. Again, reach out to Danny and he can certainly help guide you in the right direction. And of course, we understand the world is upside down at the moment, but we do have a wonderful book with confidence assurance plan so that you can book with confidence and travel confidently when we're able to do so. So we have on our river cruise itineraries 50% reduced deposits now, so only $250 per person deposits now required on our river cruise itinerary. So definitely, and lots of flexible booking choices. So, you know, we understand the times that they're in, but again, with river cruises, our ships are small, which is great, but they do fill up. So it is something that you do want to plan ahead for. And Danny is a great person to contact to sort through the best itinerary for you. So thank you again for inviting me. And with that, I will turn it back over to you, Danny.
Thank you very much, Tracy. I would like to remind people, you know, I've had clients in the past to say, oh, you know, this is a 45 to 50-year-old client. The people on board the ship are old. And my response to that, having been on so many of them, is that the age can range between 40 and 45, right on up to 80. You know, with the average perhaps being 55 to 60 or thereabouts, but well-educated people of a common mind in terms of their worldly interest in other countries. And our experience has been that, you know, on all of these cruises, even one that was down on the Mississippi, is that Canadian guests are treated, I won't say reverently, but we're held in high esteem by travelers, and that's really gratifying. You know, to think that you are welcome on board, not only by, of course, the staff, but also by other guests as well. Every river cruise has its similarities. I mean, unpack once, you know, get your meals included, get your excursions and that sort of thing. But what I've discovered in all of the cruises that I've done is that there are a lot of differences too. There's one cruise in France that you can drive between the start and end cities in 5 hours, but the cruise is 7 days. The cruise that starts in Budapest and ends in Amsterdam is an incredibly long cruise, and there's a lot of time cruising, and you can spend time up on the deck watching what's going on. This Mekong is sort of a medium cruise. You'll get sort of a nice balance of some cruising time and lots of time in ports. So and that again really only comes from a person who has experienced that. I know it because I've experienced it. So would be happy to help guide you in any river cruise experience that you might be interested in. So Tracy, thank you very much. I really appreciated your enthusiasm and the information that you've passed along. I've got a lot out of it myself, and it's certainly brought back a lot of great memories.
Great.
A final comment to viewers, just a note before concluding that, as you know, every Tuesday at 6:30 we have these presentations going on. Next week, it's going to be on November the 3rd at 6:30. It's going to be Colette Tours, a coach tour company who will be focusing specifically on Shades of Ireland tour. So anybody who's had an interest in visiting Ireland will have an opportunity to learn about that particular tour. As with all presentations, the company Scenic, you can see that they do cruises all over the world. Colette does the same thing. They do coach tours virtually all over the world as well. Anyway, looking forward to seeing you next week at the same time. And please pass the word. It'd be great to have more viewers on these presentations. Again, Tracy, thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.